Hello, and welcome to Quackalope, and today we're doing an unboxing of a game by Lucky Duck Games by the title of Destinies, which was a Kickstarter title. Which was the Kickstarter title from last year, I believe, that is now almost two backers store. Nope, two backers doors. Time Destinies is going to be an app-driven. No, what are you doing? First of all, I haven't been respectfully quiet. Secondly, you're not opening the game, I'm opening the game. Why are you so insistent on this?
Because, Jan, this is, as far as I'm aware, like the back says, the first competitive story-driven RPG light game in existence.
Yes. Yes, it is a pretty boisterous claim, and
So, we are familiar enough with what's inside this box, like any of our unboxing videos. We're going to be able to walk you through exactly what is happening as we pull things out.
Yes.
And here on the channel, hit that subscribe button down below because we're going to be bringing you some full gameplay.
Yes, we are.
A preview, a breakdown, and just a whole lot of content around Destinies. We are insanely excited about it.
Oh, yeah. I just want to show people this app too.
Yeah.
And we'll get through it, so respectfully quiet.
All that being
Open
said.
the box.
Yep.
I didn't think I'd actually be able to stop it. I don't think you know how to use a knife. No, I got the right edge. See, I'm doing it now. See, I'm just like ripping it. Woo! Okay, so I've technically seen the top side of this. Are you ready? Because it's like
I haven't seen it.
Very elegant. Okay, so box, and I'm just gonna call out. Did I do it?
No.
Oh, how does he do it?
Ooh.
Yes, exactly.
Ooh.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Look at that insert. Look at that insert. Look at that insert. Go ahead. We gotta do it, I guess.
The prophets speak of the angel of death and his descendants upon the earth to bring forth the end of days. There will be omens heralding his arrival, they say. Divine punishment shall be brought upon the sinners, and with them, one by one, the seals of the apocalypse will be broken. But while famine, pestilence, and war scourge the land, there will be still hope. The chosen few, their fates intertwined with heaven's design, will be given the power to shape these ordeals and bring onto others both punishment and salvation. Their deeds will be the testament to the will and strength of the mortal. As pests devour the fruit and the grain, and the plague lays low the noble and the poor alike, as the holy maiden brings the flame of war to her enemies, the angel of death watches and judges all. May he deem those destined souls worthy, for if not, all shall burn.
Oh my gosh. So high stakes. Very high stakes.
Jan, what is this game?
Time Destinies is going to be the second iteration of the Scan&Play system brought to you by Lucky Duck Games, which was first originally conceived from Chronicles of Crime. In this game of narration and exploration, you are going to be taking a particular character who has a destiny to fulfill. It is your role, your responsibility to make that destiny happen before any other player in the game. Basically, you're going to go through multiple tiles, revealing secrets, going through scenarios or story bits, trying to understand and weave together the overall arching tale and get to your finality before everyone else. Mechanically, what you're doing is that you'll be using dice to get certain successes. Those successes are going to be determined by a stat area that you have specifically to your player, which basically says if you roll a certain amount of dice, anything underneath that value of combined dice will then be your success rate, and you'll be able to go through multiple situations or actions with that. However, the most important thing about this game is, I mentioned just now, Scan&Play.
Is that it has a miniature pile of baby rats.
That's disgusting. No, that's not the point. The point is that this is going to be an app-driven game. This is going to be called the Destinies Game Master Companion app, and everything you're doing throughout this title involves going through different prompts in that application. That application is going to be as detailed as showing you what tiles you're going to put outwards, what tokens you're going to put on those tiles, what those tiles represent, how NPCs interact with you, what things they say to you, and above all, what items you have with you that could either be something important for the story or it could just be pure junk that you're showing off to someone and they're like, why are you showing me this? I absolutely don't care. Yes, there's a lot of things going on in this one.
So when I said that we are familiar enough with what's inside this main box, I really meant Jan is, and I'm familiar with looking at miniatures and cool art and components.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
this is the interesting thing. There's not a giant big binder of story here. Instead, it's all functioning off of that. And the thing that the app does, I'm usually a little bit skeptical of app-driven games.
Oh, I just want to show you.
But the thing that the app is going to do is that it's going to open up the narrative and have its own memory for the character that you're playing. So like Jan said, every single card, item, character interaction, question that you ask is all built off of a sequencing that would be madness to try to organize and keep together on paper.
Yes, correct.
But when it comes to a computer doing it for you, it's the merging of something that is tactical and physical with something that is potentially digital and interesting. I mean,
oh my god.
Every character, every single
has
character
their
own interaction with every single one of these QR codes.
Yep. And every character also has two, I'm going to do it real quick, whoop, whoop, Destinies that they'll be able to fulfill throughout the game, so you have a lot of variability. I think there's over, easily 20 characters here, maybe 15 characters that you'll be able to venture through. And each of those characters, I believe, interacts with these stories slightly in a different way. So you have a lot out of the box.
This is awesome. These tiles are beautiful.
Oh yeah, they're so succinct and simple. Yeah.
Well, they're enough to give you a sense of what's going on. They have a ton of little, tiny little bits and pieces and detail, and every one being unique. Like, I would rather have my RPG or D&D or, dungeon crawl tiles be like this and be on cardstock like this, as opposed to, really, Seventh Continent-esque exploration style.
Yes, correct.
As opposed to big, heavy pieces of cardboard without the trade of beautiful artwork.
So let me show you.
These are gorgeous. These are genuinely gorgeous.
So as that downloads, let's start talking a little bit about the pieces that we're having in front of us. So first of all, we're going to have an item cards. All of these items, as I said, will have immediate repercussions as to what's happening. We're also going to have, yes, that is punch board. Oh, no, I want the pieces to be
They're so thick.
Yes, that's pretty good cardboard.
These are excellent.
Wow, that is, I'm surprised at how thick this cardboard is.
Yeah, this is what you want.
Wow. So item cards are going to be given to every single character depending on what they're doing, and you're going to have 5 slots for each of those item cards. Item cards are going to give you things like discarding instead of a regular move to any explored tile, and they're also going to let you just interact with the game state in different ways. And you'll be able to use these cards depending on specific situations once you scan them into the system, and the system will give you a prompt as to what happens with that card. But sometimes the cards just tell you what they do. This card in a test of green, which is going to be that one, also use all of your red successes, right? So it just gives you opportunities to mitigate die rolls, etc. And speaking of die rolls, you're going to have 2 sets of dice. First of all, this is a game for 1 to 3 players. That's going to be the maximum amount. And you can play that solo, you can play it, and you can play it in all other player counts. So every player is going to get 2 of these base die. And after those 2, and those are chunky, nice,
chunky and inlaid.
Engraved, dice there. And you're also going to get...
They don't work very well, though. I got a 2 and a 1.
Well, let's see if that's true. No, they work pretty fine. That's actually the highest roll. Oh, no, okay, I'm sorry.
I'm being honest, these dice are broken.
Check these ones out. Those are pretty. Purple, pretty. No. You're not gonna do it. No, because I want to play this game pretty ASAP. You're going to have your main 2 dice, and these dice are going to be used for every single check that you're going to be doing, but you're also going to have effort. I believe these are called effort dice. And effort dice, you choose how many you want to spend because you're spending those dice. You're putting in the effort to do so. So, depending on the type of test that you want to do, you might want to be very reserved about how you spend that precious resource. But everything in the game is going to involve the use of these dice, and once you roll those dice, they're going to correspond to your player area. You'll notice that you'll have numbers from 1 to 12. That is your success range. I'm kind of coming up with this term in the process, but doesn't it sound fancy? Your success range is going to be dependent on these small circles.
Success range.
It is not. No, it's not. These circles represent your successes, but the trick about this is that Obviously, circles that are farther away in this number range are going to be much difficult to hit. But when you start getting successes lower and lower in your score, you're going to be able to reach those much easier depending on the amount of dice that you're throwing. So as the game develops, you'll be developing your character by bringing these tokens downwards or maybe even adding more so as the story continues. And you're going to have 3 separate tracks that are all dealing with the same thing. And speaking of characters, let's talk a little bit more about that. You have your characters. Each character is going to have 2 QR codes. Those QR codes are going to pertain specifically to
2 different journeys or paths that they can go down.
Yes, destinies that they must follow. And don't pause the screen and don't read. You'll ruin it for yourself. No. Self-control. No, you're not reading. We're going to go through
flavor
them.
text on the back of them.
Okay, wait. I can give you a little bit. Deep in your heart, you know the werewolf is your son, cursed by his evil wife.
I think that's end story.
No, with magic you taught her yourself. The spell is a powerful one, but you know how to undo it. If you reverse the curse, you'll prove her guilt and bring her to justice and get your son back.
Are you sure that's not end story?
No, that's just the basic for that character. Well, that might have been a secret, but nobody knows what I was reading, so you'll never find out. Either way, the important thing is that those character cards that you were given are secret to you, and you want to make sure that those destinies are private, because again,
If it was really a secret, they shouldn't have put it on the card.
Because this is a competitive game, as I said, we're all striving to move forward. Now, probably one of the highlights of this is actually going, and I know that there's a ton of people out there that go like, oh, I hate apps, this is going to be horrible, just put this in action. I would suggest if you're interested in this game, just download the app and start finicking around with it, because I think you'll be fairly impressed with what they've done. So first of all, the app will give you cues, and we're going to skip through this, but it'll give you story cues with audio.
When the terrible howl resounded for the first time.
Yeah.
No strangers to wolves, the men
I would
assembled
read
a
it better.
hunting party. The few who returned, bloodied and terrified, spoke of a monster, a werewolf, hungry for human flesh. The townsfolk turned to the mayor, once a famed warrior, but they found his house dark and abandoned.
No, and that's enough.
That's
enough flavor for what's
happening.
The game will also give you an assortment of characters that you can decide to bring into the campaign, and then once you begin, we'll select the 2 characters, and once you decide to begin, you'll be able to also give you all the standard setup. There's 3D models for everything too, which you'll be able to easily determine your miniature. And as we go through this, did everybody take their starting items and set cards? Sure, let's say yes, and here's the big reveal. The game tells you exactly what tiles need to be added, and it'll show you exactly where pieces go as things. Jesse, I need you to sit down because this is pretty impressive right here. In addition to it having background music, look at this. See how things are being slowly added into the game board? Are you making it louder? Come on, man. So things are added slowly onto the board, and look at the animations of how things are added slowly.
That's actually really nice.
That is very professional. It looks absolutely gorgeous.
Just piece by piece. Tile 16, tile 14.
And so, as this app keeps going, you'll be able to select things, visit the search. No, I don't want to visit the church. I want to explore this. Explore that tile number 16. Yes, let's explore. Once you explore it, flip it. It tells you what to do, and it also starts giving you new things to add. And not just that, it'll also start telling you what tokens you add. And
there's a horse in peril over there.
And there's a holy spring there.
Spring.
And not just that, like in the next turn or the next character, they could click on the horse in peril.
Yes.
And you
visit
start doing
horse.
things, and when it'll give you text.
Permission to access your camera.
Well, that's not part of the story.
That's not flavor text.
Okay, now we should be fine. Now, you'll get a little bit of a prompt, and you'll fight the wolf and drive the wolf off, and it'll tell you things that you can scan into the app. So for
it sounds like a horse in it's the woods.
Yeah, they have pretty good audio. So, for example, if we drive the wolf away, we could just use a success.
Scare it with fire!
You need to have fire. No, that is not fire, Jesse. That is a camera and a fan. Wait, maybe this is fire. Let me... No, that's not fire.
You're not hot enough.
That's debatable. Either way, it gives you a lot of options, okay? So the app itself, even though we've seen iterations of app-driven games that are not very solidified, this is actually pretty amazing what they've been able to do.
Is alcohol fire?
Well, let's check.
I don't think it is.
Scare it off with fire. Scan the card.
Are you fire?
The wolf gives chase and worse yet quickly catches up. After a short desperate struggle, you manage to get away with several bite marks. No, that was not fire.
That was not fire.
And so, for people that are very hesitant about apps, again, I would heavily suggest...
That would be fire.
That would be fire, yes. I would heavily suggest you to take a look at this app because you might be convinced. You might be convinced of giving this a shot. And as we said, everything else, one of the things that I think Time Destinies is doing that's pretty fascinating... No, you stop this. We're not going to get more old man giving us flavor text. Actually, wait, I'm kind of curious about something. Is it the same guy? Or is it...
Is under siege, not by an army, but by a force much...
No. Point is, there's a lot of attention to detail put into that app. And as I was saying, one of the interesting things that I find about Time Destinies is how minimalist it is. Like, all the components feel very streamlined, but at the same time, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot in that box. I don't know yet.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate you watching.
Or you're just going to jump immediately to the gameplay because you want to hear the old man talk?
Yeah, I'm done with this unboxing.
Yes, I'm also fairly excited to bring this to the table.
Okay, no, I'm going to go play the game. We'll see y'all next time.